How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Profit Ladders YouTube channel. My name's Ferg, and today I thought I'd do a video on the Smarkets Multiples feature. Now, I also do have a quick little update. We are currently adding Matchbook to our odds matching software. That's probably already done depending on when you're watching this video and depending on when the video comes out. With that being said, let's get on with the video. Now, when it comes to laying bets with multiple selections, this is by far the best way to do it, in my opinion. You don't have to faff around with laying each bet one at a time. You can also use events that overlap, which you can't do with sequential laying, and it just makes it a hell of a lot easier. I'm going to show you a video that I took for something that I did for another video. I actually watched this video back and realised I made a mistake on purpose, of course. I did it to show you what not to do, which is a lie. I actually didn't even notice I'd made this mistake. It's only very minor and ended up costing me 1 penny, but nevertheless, I'm going to show you the video. I'm going to talk you through it. It's just me laying a treble using the Smarkets Multiples feature from start to finish. So let's watch the video. So we're starting at the acca matcher. The first thing I'm going to do is click the calculator icon to the far left of my selected bet. Now, as you can see, we have our calculator to the left and we have all the information we need for our bet to the right. So I'm going to be placing a treble. If you're unfamiliar with what a treble is, it's basically one bet made up of 3 selections. As you can see here, 1, 2, 3. So for my treble, I'll be betting on Solihull Moors, Cardiff City and Sheffield United. Now I'm going to go over to Bet365 and place my treble. Personally, I like to use the search bar to find each selection. It's usually a lot quicker. To place a bet with multiple selections, just select each bet individually like I'm doing here. So now I've selected each bet for my treble. If I go down and click on my bet slip, you can see at the bottom we have an option to place these bets as a treble. I'm using Bet365, but this is usually how it works for most bookmakers. Now that's placed, I need to go over to Smarkets and place my lay bet against my treble. Again, I like to use the search bar to find each event. Right, now this is the important part. When laying multiples using the multiples feature, you need to click the green box, not the blue. I know this might seem a bit weird at first, but you'll see why in a second. So now I have my 3 selections in my bet slip. If we take a look at the bottom of my bet slip, you can see we have a toggle button that switches between buy and sell. Whenever you're laying an acca, you need to switch this to sell. And as you can see, we now have our lay odds. Now we need to go back to the calculator and enter our lay odds into the lay odds box in order to get our lay stake. So I'm going to enter 14.0 into my lay odds box. And if you remember, I only staked £5, so I need to change my back stake to £5. Now, this is where I made the mistake. So this is just me rushing and not really thinking about what I'm doing, which is how most mistakes are made. But if we backtrack a little and take a look at my bet slip on Bet365, you can see that my back odds are 11.73. Now if we go back to where we were, you can see my back odds are a little off at 11.71. It's at this point I should have changed them, but for whatever reason I didn't. So I thought I'd just use my mistake as a lesson, because they say you learn from your mistakes, but hopefully you won't have to, because you can learn from mine. But please always double check your odds before you place your lay bet. Anyways, let's just pretend I didn't make that mistake, and now I'm going to copy my lay stake and paste it into my lay stake box. Click sell and then confirm, and that's our lay bet placed. So that was the Smarkets Multiples feature. Now I want to talk about some of the things that you need to look out for when using this feature. You have already seen one because I showed you. So let's start with odds. Because you're dealing with multiple bets, if any one of those change, they will affect your overall odds for your acca. So you need to look out for that. Keep checking your odds because they do change quite frequently, especially as it gets closer to the event. Another thing you need to look out for when using this feature is when you're using the acca matcher, don't go off of the lay odds. They're for sequential laying, not for the multiples feature. You'll find that the multiples odds are going to be higher, which is why sequential laying is more profitable, but it does take more time. So that video was me using the feature from start to finish. Now, if I was doing an offer, I would do it slightly differently because it's important that you get the most money possible out of each offer. So what I'd do is get the back odds and get the lay odds, put them into the calculator so I can just see how much of a qualifying loss I'm going to take or how much profit I'm going to make. So I'm just going to quickly show you another video. So let's just quickly go through that and I'll show you what I mean. So I've got my 3 selections in my bet slip for my treble. But before we place it, let's go over to Smarkets and get our lay odds. As you can see, our lay odds are 29. Now let's go to the calculator and fill in the back and lay odds. You can see that if I were to place this bet, I would take a qualifying loss of £3.06. Personally, this is way too high for me and I would just look for another bet. So that's what I would do in normal circumstances. I think it's important that you get your Smarkets lay odds first before you go and place your back bet, because you don't even know what your lay odds are, and unfortunately you cannot get accurate odds from the acca matcher for the multiples feature. So make sure you do that first. So that's it for this video. Hopefully you did get some valuable information from the video. If you could like the video and subscribe to our channel, it does help us out a lot. And until next time.